everybody, it's your girl Shino back again, and this time we're going to cover some affixes. So, I probably don't need to explain affixes to you, but just in case I do, I'm going to give you a brief rundown. So, they're what lets you take words from, like, understandable. Like, they're little pieces that you tack on to the beginning or end of words, and it can change the meaning. It'll do something to the meaning. So make sure to subscribe if you're interested in learning the language. Join the Discord, link in the description. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Now, the way this is going to work, I'm going to show you the English on the top, and then I'm going to have the Lesbani translation in the middle, and then we have an example word on the bottom. So, for instance, this first one is the English affix full, and that becomes mel. But that mel is at the start, so in the example word, which is helpful, mel musadasi. So we have mel, and we have to have the si, adjective modifier. You might use lo, or whatever you identify as, or kla. But, yeah. This is kind of how this one's going to work. There's 18 of these, so but I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can. So, number 2 is less, as in, like, helpless. But I didn't want to just reuse help, so... so in Lesbani, this is kat at the start. And the example is endless, which is katoribasi. And again, we have si. So, ness, as in like, again, darkness is the example word. That is bon. This one is at the end. And the example is halmeyu bon. Number 4 is pre. This is hil. And in the example word, which is prelocate, I don't have that many options because I haven't expanded the dictionary so far. Like, I'm making this language as you're learning it, so... so, the example word prelocate is hilasakyonya. Which is, as in, like, redo, is kab. That's kabnya. So, to make this one, you just kind of stick nya onto the end, or whatever your verb thing is, or be, or whatever. You just stick that onto the end of kab, and that gives you redo for the example. Then un is ya, and in the example this is unlight. This is going to be tough for me to say. El munyon yaya. Some words are like that. I'm sure if you had a different word. I'm sure if you didn't identify as a girl, that would be different, because I think it would be a lot easier to say El Muño Bella or El Muño Loba. Like, I just got the short end of the stick with El Muño Nyaya. Number 7, Bai is Orin. The only example I can find is Orin Yonglo, which is double vision. Not exactly the best example word, not exactly the most upbeat or exciting, but it's the only one I had, so... I just had to roll with it. Try is sum, but sum comes at the end. So the example, if you know music, tritone is ayukmo sum. And ayukmo is actually the word for sound, so makes sense. Abo, as in like understandable, is bie. So findable, asokyobe, asokyobie. Sorry. Now that I'm looking at it, I think that should be asokyonyabe. Asokyonyabie. Wow. Even I'm messing it up today. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Even I can't do it. Even the girl herself can't. You actually have as in like bigger or darker in this example sentence. That's pli. Halmeyu plisi. Again, we have to have si for the adjective. Then we have est. Continuing the pattern. So darkest, I just use the same word. Halmeyu prensi. That's pren. Which sounds very Italian. How may you prensi? But, yeah. Next is post, and that is nien in Lesbani. So the example is afterlife. Because if you think about it, that's just a post-life. So that would be nien yezan. Nien yezan. And then pro, so pro-life, that's kuru at the end. So yezan kuru. Anti, that is mil, also at the end. So anti-life, because I'm trying to keep it simple for the pairs and just kind of going together. So yuzan mil for that one. Ish, as in like kind of, that is dom. So that means red is adom, so reddish is adomdom. Which is very fun to say. It sounds like a drum, adomdom. Like, and then like, speaking of which, that's gus. So lifelike nyuzangus. Auto, this is number 17, and that is shiko. So automatic, we have shiko keshaksi. So keshak is movement, shiko keshak is automatic movement, and si makes it like full adjective. You could also probably just say shikosi and get the point across, but shiko keshaksi is more fun to say in my opinion. And then the last one is actually a diminutive suffix. So we have this in English. I'm going to give you a quick rundown because there's a lot smaller chance you know what this is. So, and take the word like pup, for example, like baby dog. You can add E to that and say puppy, and then it sounds a little bit cuter. Or you can do mom and mommy. So in English, E is the diminutive suffix. So in Lesbani, it is pa. I don't really have that many words for that much. So the example I just picked was elsham, which is flower. So if you wanted to make it like all small and cute, you would say elshamta. So yeah, thank you for watching. Next episode, we're going to cover the verbs. We're going to start on some verbs, so that's exciting. And we're also going to go over the tense. So there's present is just the same. I'll go into more detail about it on that episode, but it might be a bit of a shorter one. But thank you so much for watching. Join the Discord if you're interested in learning the language. Subscribe to keep up with these updates on the channel. Every 3 days I put out a new lesson for now until I run out of content. But yeah, that'll about do it for today. Shino out. Johnny!